Welcome back to Marvel News. Here we go of the next episode we got today for Iron Man. So thank you for joining. Hope you like this video. So here we go with the video. Let's get started. Welcome back to Marvel News, and today we're going to be looking back from 2008. Now, this movie is one of the starts where we are today, and today we're going to be reviewing Iron Man. So, thank you for joining us today, and let's get started for 2008 Iron Man, where it all began. Here's the review. Enjoy. Let's get started. Now, for Iron Man, it's been a while, right? We've came to the conclusions, right? What was left. Now, there's one big Easter egg that we'll be discovering along the lines, down the line at the end of this video. Those are the last. Easter eggs are the last, so I will not say the Easter eggs and spoil the movie until the very end, so beware of those at the very end. I will say at the very end. So for today, right now we're going to be discussing what happens during the movie and what happens. Okay, so in the beginning, it's just it's him, Tony Stark, he's in the Fun V, he calls it, and he's riding with the army, right? He's sprinting around, sitting his drink, and has his little radio, and just like, and just sitting and chilling, Then out of the boom, the army van in front gets blown up, and everybody gets getting shot up. And from that point, that was very just from seeing that, you don't expect that when you first watch it. You're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Like, and it's very mysterious what's going on. And when you've watched this many times, you kind of know what's going on. You kind of like, oh, whatever. Now, when you're watching this for the first time, you're like, man, this is. What's going on? Is he going to live? Is he going to die? And, you find out later he lives. Then it goes back 48 hours before, and the one thing you don't know about Tony Stark he doesn't like being handed things. That's what she's going to first notice about that. He don't like being handed awards or anything. He don't like that tension. Stuff. And through the movie, you kind of go through the steps of Tony Stark. First off, you're going to learn about another thing he's going to learn. Not first off, but another thing he's going to learn about him is that he learns from his mistakes. And that's what he learned from the beginning of the movie. Is, no, I'm not going to do more weapons by that. If it's going to be weapons, it's going to be me. And that's what he said. That's where Iron Man comes from. And that's where he designs a suit. Just one for himself. It's just him. It's done for him. And that's the thing about this. This movie is created and is on top of all the other movies. It's built up on top. This movie right here, on number one, Iron Man 1, was the first MCU movie. So, this is incredible what they've done. And the CGI, everything was incredible. We're going to talk about that next coming up. But, as we go through this movie, you feel the vibe of what's coming. You do. You really feel the vibe. You really do. And when you go through this vibe, when you're feeling Marvel of Iron Man, when you first watch Iron Man, now if you've seen it and you know what I'm talking about, you felt it, right? You're like, what's going on? Like, is he gonna live? Like that. You kind of know he's gonna live anyway if you've seen the trailer, but you don't know actually. The trailer doesn't really tell the whole entire story, but you know what's going to happen. And if you know the comics, you kind of know everything. But if you're just watching the movie, the very first time, you kind of like, what's going on? What's the point of this? The point is, the entire movie, learn from your mistakes. And, and move forward. He never goes back. Iron Man never goes back. Tony Stark never goes back. And that's the thing about Tony. He's always learning from his mistakes. Now, let's talk about the effects, everything coming up right now. The effects of Iron Man. Now, as you know, the effects of this is abstract. When he's wearing a suit, he's not... It's a real suit, but then you look at it and you're like, it didn't have all the stuff, all the engines and stuff in it. No, that's not real. That's CGI. And it looks like it's entirely real. And that's what I love about the 2008 movie. That it's done well with CGI. When CGI was not really great back in the early 2000s. Especially the early 2010s, but over the years of the 2010s it's grown. But CGI has grown seriously in a map of extraordinary from now to then. And you've seen that over his suit has improved too with CGI along with that. So, as I'm saying this, if you look at the CGI on this, it's very well with his suit, and the movie just with the explosions and everything is lined up. The character, the actors, everything was just in place. It looked like now I'm not saying none of these are terrible actors. Now if they're not good actors, I don't care. Everything went in place with this movie. The effects, the acting, the skills, the everything. It was entirely set. And yes, it's a perfect movie. Everything went as planned, it looks like. Now, the interesting fact about this is some of the stuff wasn't scripted as they went along with the film. So that was intentional. And that's what I loved about that movie. And I found out about it, some of the stuff is not scripted. And it's actually pretty well done. And that's what Marvel does sometimes. It's some of the stuff is in the movies, in other movies too. Some stuff is not scripted and it's in the movie, and it makes it great. So I mean, that's what I love about Iron Man. Iron Man has been a cut through of experience, and when you take experience and you put it through, you get it. Now, here's the connections of now and then with Iron Man coming up. Thanks for listening to a review of my stuff. Here's the connections of Marvel of the review of today. Alright, here we go with the spoiling. It's just, I'm going to spoil the movie. If you don't want to hear, don't watch. So, it was over 10 years ago from this Easter egg to come out. Now, Iron Man, he's connected to the 10 rings. If you've seen Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings, that's connected. If you know that story, we'll get into that in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, we'll talk about that in review part 3. So Iron Man 3, we'll talk about that when we get there. But it's connected to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 Rings, as they speak about in Iron Man 3. So that's something to think about. Also, I mean, it has brought us to now. And Iron Man has came a long way until Endgame. It was over 10 years ago. And, you know, and in 2021, we're here to Shang-Chi. In Shang-Chi, I mean, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, but with Iron Man gone, now he's dead, who's going to be the next Iron Man? And that's what we look today is, as we look at Iron Man today, is why? Why didn't they make an Iron Man 4? Well, was it a good choice or a bad choice? And that's what we tend of knowing still today. And everything that's happened around us with Marvel has been extraordinary. And today we've looked at Iron Man today, exclusively and briefly, and that's our zone. We're gonna stay that way, and we're gonna push through with the Iron Man. So it's been over 10 years when Iron Man was made. It's almost 20 years. By 2028, about several years from now, it'll be 20 years since the first Iron Man came out. We'll start the MCU, and they've made over 30 movies in the last 20 years in the MCU. Isn't that incredible? That 2008 was the very first one. Imagine that. Imagine that. Thank you for choosing this channel. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for viewing just like a video on your tablet or on your laptop or wherever you go. Thank you for joining. See you next time on Marvel News.